Party people, what's going on, everybody? I hope y'all tapped in. I see we got 6 people in here right now. Hopefully, we get a little more tuned in. But nonetheless, I appreciate tuning in to the basketball podcast, man. Today's gonna be a heavy show. Let me clean my screen so y'all can see me real good. Football's back. You know what I'm saying? We may touch on a little Colorado Eagles versus Dallas. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about a lot tonight. Saw the headline, you know the dream. You know, the dream's on the stamp, so we're going to talk a little WNBA talk tonight. You know what I mean? The dream have secured the number 2 spot, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sisters, man. Shout out to Ryan Howard. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jerry Canada. Shout out to the legend BG. If you don't know who that is, that's Brittany Griner. If you don't know who that is, man, go Google that. Go Google her, man. So we're going to talk about them tonight. Talk a little NBA. We're really hitting everything. You know what I'm saying? Co-host Naj. You know, he'll be back in like 5 minutes. Had to handle some business. Probably had to get a little, you know what I'm saying, a little couple chips. You know what I'm saying? We try to keep it homie. You know what I'm saying? Real humanistic, real relatable. So I'm saying bear with us until then. Second big thing, man, you know we're talking about Hillgrove tonight. Why is Hillgrove possibly the best team in Marietta? Asa Montgomery, you know what I mean? Everybody knows about Asa Montgomery. Top 100, top 50, I believe, ESPN rankings. We'll be talking about rivals. You know what I'm saying? They just released their top 20. Well, they released their 2028 top, you know what I'm saying, basketball rankings. So we'll talk about that. But in addition to Asa Montgomery, you know, they got a lot of other guys. You know what I mean? I'll say a couple. We don't want to spill too much. Landon Grundy, you know what I mean? Bryson Jetta, you know what I'm saying? Peace Jam stand out for those who keep up with EYBL and the grassroots basketball. So we're going to get into a lot. But I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, get into too much before the brother gets back. So let's, till the meantime, let's scavenger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's scavenger Twitter. You know, let's see what we can find, see any headlines. Share my screen here 1 second. All right, man. Get at me in the comments, man. Who y'all like tonight? Y'all like Dallas or Philly? I mean, that's probably, you know, I mean, everybody probably gonna spam Philly in the chat, man. But nonetheless, I gotta ask. Let's go to Yahoo Sports. Actually, no, let's go to Hillgrove. She has a lot on the young man. Actually, no, let's go to the Dream. Let's go to the Dream Team. Of course, I gotta put in Atlanta to the Dream. I know y'all see how fast I just got it in the search bar. These hands is fast now. Hands is fast like that, and they're fast like this too. So as you see here, you know what I mean? We're in the A clinch. Tickets go on sale 9/2, 10 a.m. to start. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, let's talk about the squad, man. Alicia Gray, probably one of the best sharpshooters, you know what I'm saying, in the W. A lot of people talk about Sabrina Onescu. Well, my girl is Alicia Gray, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? South Carolina, former Gamecock. I believe she's from South Carolina as well. So, star, man. You got Brittany Jones here, one of the best post players in the league. She come from the Connecticut. Is it Connecticut Sun? With Alyssa Thomas and Miss Bonner. But nonetheless, double machine there. Ryan Howard, you know, also one of the best sharpshooters in the league. I think she's shooting 40% from behind the arc this year. Really having that season where we saw where she's going to take that next step. Let me check the comments. See if anybody's tapped in on the comments in the YouTube land. Don't see none yet, man. Definitely get at me on Twitter. Don't matter. We're just buying time until Naj gets back. But nonetheless, what is her name? Kimbrough right here. Right behind Ryan, one of the best defenders in the league. We already talked about Jerry Canada, Naj Tillman right there, Michigan legend, BG, Brittany Griner. You know what I mean? You can't forget about Tahina Pow. You know what I mean? Really has shaped this team into a complete team. You know what I mean? Someone who come in and facilitate, run the offense, and get you big shots. And I feel like Tahina Pow, I think Miss Canada. I don't want to say her first name wrong. I think it's Jerry Canada. But nonetheless, we'll call her Miss Canada. I think she's going to be big. Can't forget about the other rookie in the back. You know, it's from Ohio State, I believe. Another good wing defender, but can also score the ball as well. So, I mean, it's pick your poison when you think about the Dream. You don't really know what you can do. They're gonna hit the defensive offensive glass. The BG is gonna be an interior rim protector. So, man, and she can stretch the floor as well. I like, matter of fact, let's go WNBA. Let's go WNBA. So let's scout the talent, scout the rest of the field. So let's go to the standards. Got the Minnesota Link. You know, what I mean, we already know what Fisha Kari gonna do, man. She's a bucket. 32-8. That's nothing. That's nothing to turn your nose up at. 7-3 in the last 10. The Vegas Aces are the hottest team in the W right now. Kind of crawled into the season, right? But picked things up as we knew they would. You know what I mean? They got the best. I'm gonna say still the best player in the league, man. Aja Wilson. Actually, let's go back. Let's go through everybody. You have the Phoenix Mercury doing that thing. Another team to watch. Last year's champs, the New York Liberty, Golden State Valkyries. Seattle Storm kind of let me down. I thought they were going to be better this year. But, you know, everybody's going to talk about the Indiana Fever. Can they lick their wounds? You know, Caitlin Clark, she's been dealing with the injury bug. I'm not sure if she's fully back yet. But, you know what I'm saying, she'll be somebody to keep in mind. You know what I mean? That's a hot, popular team in the W. Here we go. Popular team in the W. The Los Angeles Sparks, Rakia Jackson. Cam Brink just got back not too long ago. And Kelsey Plum's been doing her thing. Seattle Storm, you know, you got I think Agumba Wale. I believe she plays for this team as well, along with the veteran. What's her name? Light skin. Came from Notre Dame. Skylar Diggins. So let's go back to the dream. Run up to look at the stats here for a second. Team stats. Got a little lag on my end from the IG Live. Here we go. Let's see. I see Camto. Camto was in here. Shout out to Big Camto. Landmark Christian, freshman, doing his thing. 2 block punt, the 1 block punt, 2 sacks. And you know he'll get it done on the offensive end, toting the rock. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to everybody at Landmark Christian. But not to get off topic, let's get back to the dream, back to the team at hand, the matter at hand, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Canada, 12 points per game. How many assists, though? 1.8 steals per game, 5.6 assists per game. Man, this team is deadly. That's why they're the number 2 team in all of the league. A team that's going to kill you with just facilitating the ball. You know what I mean? Shout out to the head coach who came over from Florida Gulf Coast. Has really put his mold on this team. You know, just everybody sharing the ball. I mean, he's got the personnel. That's one thing I'll say. Last year's coach, she didn't necessarily have this personnel, man. Not like this. She didn't have no of a Brianna Jones. She didn't have a Brittany Griner. She had a Tina Charles, don't get me wrong, a legend who just passed. Who she just passed? I got it in my notes. She just passed a legend. Deanna Taurasi, you know what I'm saying? She just passed Deanna Taurasi. But, you know what I mean? Not the same get up and down, man. You know what I'm saying? She's an older veteran, no disrespect. We love Tina Charles or whatever thing she brings to the WNBA. You know what I mean? The aura. But she's not the same player she once was. I believe she averaged a double-double last year. But, again, not the same player. Not to take anything away from the current coach, but I had to assess that as well. So, Ryan Howard, 16.9 points. Second leading scorer on the team, shooting 30% from 3. That's not gonna get the job done. But when you got teammates like that, you know what I mean, it is what it is. Shooting 84% from the foul line, 4.6 assists, man. So they're getting the job done, man. But let's check one more team, and we'll probably pull up some video highlights. I know y'all want to see a little glitz and glam. I understand. Everybody not a numbers guy like myself. Do we want to go Fever? Do we want to go? Let's go Aces. Hottest team in the W. Schedule, literally and figuratively. Team roster. I know come on now. News, community, fan central, partners. I know. Come on now. What does that say? Don't do me like this, Aces. Team roster. I know I'm not wilding. Where are the stats? Pinball roster, front office. All right, man. We're going to go roster here in a second if I can find these stats. Okay, media credential, might have to tap in. Anyway, man, let's go roster. I don't know what they got going on this side of town. Jackie Young, you know what I mean? We all know what she does as well. Nalissa Smith, 7.4 points per game. Chelsea Gray, 11.1. Chelsea Gray is a bucket now. Chelsea Gray is a bucket. Asia Wilson, Jewel Lloyd, Cheyenne Parker Ty. Why she got no numbers? She been out all season. I thought she was been playing. Former Dream player. We like shout out to Cheyenne Parker Ties, man. One of the best in the game. Well, let's check out Asia Wilson. What she's been doing in her last 10. 34 points against the Dream. In the win. 18 against the Chicago Sky, 36 against the Mystics, 19 versus the Mercury, and 32 versus the Dream. Again, hottest team in the W. Get ready to warm up for the postseason. It's all about the hot hand, right? You know, I think the Aces are very serious contenders, you know what I'm saying, to get back in that championship conversation or bring the ring back to Vegas. But you know what I mean, I'm a Southside guy, man. I got to rock with the Dream, man. Got to rock with the Dream, man. We haven't had one, I think, since 07. So we need something. All right, but nonetheless, let's go back to Twitter. Let's find some videos. Let's see what's trending on the tweet. Okay. I see the gold units for the Jackets, man. I know this is a basketball pod, but this is Clayton Powell Lee. Shout, you know what I'm saying? Shout Clayton. Shout Miss Lee tuned in. Sports. All right, Luka Doncic live Slovenia to Euro basket knockout round. Rise up, man. We'll stay away from that. Let's see. WNBA. Oh yeah, Miss Becky Harmon, Coach Becky Harmon. You know what I mean. August Aces 10-0. Suspended. All right, here we got a little something here. I remember seeing this yesterday. I believe she said something about her teammates. Even though I still see the negative headlines, I still like, you know what I'm saying, I still support Andrew Reese. You know what I mean? Bayou Barbie. You know what I'm saying? Gotta love what she's doing for the game of basketball, period, right? Breaking news: Angel Reese was arrested. No, I'm sorry. Assessed her 8th technical foul of the season after making contact with Aaliyah Edwards' head. She will be suspended from Friday's game versus the Indiana Fever unless it's rescinded by the WNBA. Thoughts on the technical? Let's check.
And watching the bottom.
Dang. Oh, let me see that again. Yeah, that's intentional. That's intentional. Let's see the aftermath. She ain't like that bump. Unless she's trying to swing out and click, you know what I mean, a little block out. But with everything that's been going on, she's kind of taking on that Draymond Green role in the W. I can't decide or care. Let me watch it again. Man, it's on the line. I saw it on the line. The first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, it might be intentional. But watching it, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Caitlin Clark keeps making history with her multi-year Stanley 1913 deal. Her record, this is a Nike contract. What does it say? She's now the highest earning WNBA player from it. We already knew that. 2 MVP level stars, Nafisa Collier versus the Lynx tonight on Prime. Who do y'all like, man? Nafisa Collier or Asia Wilson? Who's better? Because Nafisa has been cooking. No cooking. I'm talking about cooking out of the low post. You know what I mean? You see the Kobe turnaround fade from anywhere. Asia Wilson, you know what I'm saying? We don't got to say too much about Asia Wilson. She's gonna get the job done. I like me a good post player getting the paint, a little shimmy. It's classic. One of the most beautiful moves in basketball. Going back to IG, man, I'm coming to see what I got going on in the comments. Let's see. A little laggy. All right, we need some more live. We need some more. We need some more action in the comments. All right. All righty. All righty. All righty. All right. 4-time WNBA champ. You know what I mean? Legendary. Got to interview Miss Bria Chanel. Bria Janelle. If you don't know who Bria Janelle is, man, the voice of ABL, the voice of the Chicago Bulls, voice of Overtime Elite, and she be at the Dream Game going crazy. So, uh, definitely Definitely loyal.
Now, you know what I'm saying? First, I got to ask you, you know what I'm saying? Miss Staley, Coach Staley came through Greenville.
Yeah.
How was that?
Now it's always dope to see a GOAT. Like I told her, and I'm like, you're a 6-time WNBA All-Star, you're Olympian, you're a national national champion, and a Hall of Famer. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. But to see, like, we've been able to build a rapport over the years has been really, really good.
That's not about myself, man. That's just, you know what I'm saying? This is a little something for the catalog, man. You know, brother been at it for a little minute. All right, let's get my boy at, man. God, dog. Oh, he ain't in here. Let me hit him in private. Let me know when he's ready. No. All right. Mr. Put it on. Devontae Smith be coming through drippy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But nonetheless, you know, definitely want to shout out Jaren Samuel. Just committed to the Paladins today. Just committed to Furman. That's big. You know what I mean? Brother was just in New York the last time we talked to him and had him on the show. Doing it big, brother. You know what I'm saying? Wendell Barrow, co-MVP at the Relentless Hoop Camp. Brother's the dollar, man. So we're going to find some film. Playing 85. Stretches the floor very nicely. Can handle it. I believe I seen him play at the tip-off class a couple years ago. Just very smooth, man. Athletic guard. You know, just got vision. That's another athletic guard from Columbus. Can shoot it, man. Really has everything he needs to, you know what I'm saying, to be a one and done or two and done at Furman and transfer on to a bigger program. You know what I mean? I think he can play. I mean, no disrespect to Furman in that program, but you know what I mean? Just the way the college basketball landscape or just college sports in general is unfolding. You know what I mean? Kids go to a G5 school or sometimes JUCO. You know what I mean? Transfer in and transfer into a big time school, man. So, all right, what's up, brother? I see you tapping in, man.
What's going on, brother? Sorry about that, man. Had to use bathroom, man. Took longer than I expected.
All good, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's got to move. It's better out than in. Out than in, for sure. So, man, just talk to the people, man. Give me a soliloquy. How was your day, brother?
I was busy, man. You know how I go. Always doing, articles, different things like that. Staying onto the hoop scene. Class of 2028 released. Obviously, just talked about Jaren Samuel, who we had on the show. He just committed to Furman, so shout out to him. I think he's doing it right, though. Bacon committing early. That you got that spot. I think that's the key for kids. Like, it might not be the school you want, but commit early. You never know what can happen down the line. And basketball recruiting is a lot different than it is for football, right? Football, usually decisions made in December. Basketball, you can go through February, March, April, even sometimes late May, just deciding where you're going to end up going. So I felt like he got plenty of time. So good on him. I think more buzz will start to kind of generate around his name a little bit as time goes on. So shout out to that young man for, obviously standing out. I thought class of 2028, I just talked about the rankings there was really interesting. AJ Williams, obviously number one player. I know we'll talk more about it. So that's really interesting. But overall, pretty good day. No complaints.
Ain't no complaints. Rest in the bank. I understand that, brother. So before we get into our topics, man, is there anything that caught your eye that you want to, start to show it in the basketball landscape?
What did I see? They released 2026 Bacon. I think it was ESPN. So they released some. I think Manny Green was number 91. So Hope got 5, and then obviously we know I got Tyra Stokes got number 1. So I thought those rankings updates for seniors was pretty interesting. to say the least. So that's one thing that kind of caught my eye. I wanted to bring up on the show.
100%, man. Caleb Hoy at 5 is egregious to me, but you know what I'm saying? They feel strongly about it.
Yeah, and I think he'll get a chance to kind of climb up a little bit, Bacon, when he goes to prolific prep a little bit, playing on that national circuit. So I think that'll be beneficial for him, and then maybe he'll be able to move up a little bit more.
I mean, we guess. I mean, won the Euro, the Adidas Euro American Cup MVP, won a gold medal, won 3 SSB. I mean, what more does he have to do?
Good point. I mean, he's done everything you've asked him to do.
So we'll see what he does, man. I guess they want him to win the Chipotle Cup. Come this spring. But let's get into it, man. How good can Woodward Academy be? We already know about the Hayes twins, Bryson Elder, you know what I mean? And now with the addition of the recent transfer of Bentley Luceno, man, just how good can this team be, brother, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have all the pieces and the horses they need. You know, last year they got close. Think about it. Last year they made the 5A state championship, right? Played against Tri-City, and it was in a battle all the way to the end. Now you combine with a top-ranked player in 2028 who's, I'm sure, gotten better, got more physical, gotten stronger, finishing around the rim better. You already got an elite duo, and obviously shout out to Miles Hayes. He was ranked number 12 Bacon in the updated 2028 Rivals ranking, so he's continuing to move up leaderboards there. So him, and then obviously you got who I felt very strongly about for a while, his brother Jarvis Hayes. He still has another year after this year. They're going to be a problem. Now, obviously, Tri-City's going to be in the way there. They're in the same region, so that's going to make those matchups even more entertaining. But I would say that they have as good a chance of ending with the addition of a Ben Louiscano, obviously, to the team on both ends of the floor. They should be just fine.
100%. Last season, Jarvis averaged 13.7 points. His brother averaged 7.7 points. But, you know, both average north of 5, another 4 rebounds per game. They get it done everywhere else. The older brother averaging 2.1 steals. The younger brother averaging 0.7 blocks per game. But interesting enough, man, who does his younger brother say his favorite player was to watch? It wasn't like Shea. I can't remember right now. I'll pull up his interview, man. But Bentley Luceno, a lot of people are bullish. I mean, not bullish. They're still bullish on Bentley, but it's not as bullish as it once was. A lot of people had him as the number 1 player in the country for his class. He's kind of slipped down, I think, 5 to the 8 range. Just I think this is prime real estate for him. You know what I'm saying? People are doubting me. I think this is prime real estate for him to possibly bump back up into that top 3 area, man, because he is 6'8".
He is 6'8", but as I told you, Bacon, he's a great player. You just want to see it a little bit more polished. I think the ranking that he had before number 1, like that's a really polished player to be 2028. And like I said, you got to dominate. I don't feel like he was dominant. I feel like AJ Williams definitely deserves that spot. You see the difference in what Williams kind of did on that circuit compared to Louiscano. He was balling, but look what AJ, kind of helped them, dragged them to get, obviously, EYBL 15U championship. He was doing everything you needed him to do. That's what you want to kind of see with Louiscano. If you're going to be rated number 1, it comes with a lot, Bacon. And as you can see, Williams wanted it bad, and now he got it. So it's just, I think being more consistent. He got the height, he got the intangibles. It's like, okay, my team need a bucket, let me go get a bucket. My team need this, I'm gonna get a block on the defensive side of the ball. My team needs a hustle play, I'm gonna do that. Just seeing a little bit more of that.
Nah, 100%. I agree with you, brother. It's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how it all, molds together, because those are. They already got 2 ball dominant guards. I don't think Bentley was as aggressive being a ball dominant person last year. Last year he was a freshman, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they mold together. But here's the younger brother, Miles Hayes. Here's an interview we did with Pro Site.
If you guys were playing like 1-on-1, what's the final score? First to 11.
He's talking about his brother here.
Well, it really depends on the day, but typically it'll be like 11 to 8. And it'll go both ways, and it tends to get very competitive.
Most definitely. And then for yourself, just completed summer with Atlanta Express. How was that experience for you? And overall, how'd you view the season went?
The season was great. It was a great experience. I loved my coaches. I loved the whole program. I love my teammates, and it was a very fun summer, very fun and productive.
What was your favorite non-basketball memory from the summer?
I would say probably all the travels that we did, like going to different states for basketball, but not necessarily like only basketball, just like the bonding that my teammates and I were put through.
Most definitely. And I want to turn into your game real quick. Let's say someone's never watched you play before. How would you describe your strengths and your play style?
I would say my biggest strength is my motor. I like to be very aggressive, be very loud.
Dang. And kick me. My bad, Joe.
For joining us. First off,
And gets to his dribble pull up sometimes. So I like to watch him study his game.
Let me it up.
I want to say Jalen Johnson from the Hawks. He like and he spots up and gets to his dribble pull up sometimes. So I like to watch him study his game.
So boom, and if you want to watch the rest of that interview, it's you go to Woodward Academy's Twitter page. It's like the third post down. Also was had a big season this off season on the AAU circuit. But I'll talk to his brother. But I thought that Jalen Johnson was an interesting person for him to watch. I know he's an Atlanta kid, but what's your thoughts on that, my friend?
On Miles?
Yeah, on Miles. Watching a lot of Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, I think that's just, probably like one of the examples. He likes to, watch and peel away different pieces of his game. The crazy part is he's still growing into his body. Like Jalen Johnson's 6'8". So, his brother, I think, is 6'5", 6'6". So, just seeing a young player that plays both ends of the floor at a high level, I think it wants to resemble some of that in his game too. So, when you have that model to kind of look after, I think it helps.
100%, man. Miles holds offer from Georgia Tech, of course, along with his brother Georgia, along with his brother Missouri, and I believe that's all he has so far. But he's a dog. So if you could, and I'll pull up the schedule, man. But just off the top of your head, man, we know they went to the state championship last year. But what do you think their record is going to be as I pull up their schedule? All right, first game got Lakeside, Chamblee, Decatur's going to be a tough game, but I think with the collective of the brothers and Lucena, I think they're going to win. Obviously, it's not done yet, but last year they won. I think they only had like maybe 5 losses, 27-5, including the playoffs. But you know what I mean? Just what do you think an idea of what their schedule could look like for this upcoming season?
Not too sure because I know they're probably going to play a lot of showcases in different tournaments like that. They did that obviously last year, playing some top-end talent. But I'd say they should easily get over 20 wins this year.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. They got all the talent they need in the world. But, yeah, when they get a full schedule, I can kind of tell you. But I'll say definitely should get over 20 wins.
For sure. Yeah, lost to Huntsville last year is interesting. It's a big powerhouse in North Alabama. Everybody knows about the Huntsville area at this time. At least you should. But I agree with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll be generous. I'll say they'll do better than what they did last year. We'll go 29-3. 29-3. All right, moving on. Talking about why Hillgrove could possibly be the best team in Marietta, man. Like I talked about at the beginning of the season, beginning of the podcast. Asa Montgomery, top 100 prospect, top 50 ESPN rating. You know what I mean? Bryson Jetta, ALT, I believe, is the 2028 guard. Peach Jam, Nike EYBN Peach Jam standout. Michael Stringer, another 2027 guard. Landon Grundy, I believe Michael Stringer, just an offensive juggernaut, can get it done. Probably the smoothest scorer out of the guards, aside from obviously Asa Montgomery. And even then, Landon Grundy, smooth guard, too quick off the dribble. But you know what I'm saying? When you have that talent, man, I know McEachern has another 2027 guard as well, Chase Lumpkin. But you know what I mean? Hillgrove, they're gonna be right there. I believe it was a close game last season. We'll kind of get into their film, but Naj, just, you know what I'm saying, knowing what you know, you think it's a viable case for Hillgrove to be the best team in Marietta next year?
All depends, man. Definitely a talented group. I think they got a lot better, from compared to previous seasons. Do I think defensively is the question I have. Can they, defend consistently at a high level? They got all the pieces that you mentioned: Bryson Jada, right, Asa Montgomery. They're loaded. But Marietta, I know obviously got some great teams up there, but they should be a top tier team this year. Went 20-10 last year. Like I said, have all the talent in the world. It's just putting it together, and being able to play at a high level. But it should be a very formidable team this year. A team that can play really, really good basketball.
100%. Another key lost 84-60 last year in the first meeting, and lost 78-55 last year. But didn't have all the players. Had a couple of transfers in this year. But another thing to keep in mind: a lot of those players, aside from Chase, so they all played in Asa and Bryson Jetta, the Landon and Michael. They played on Sewer South. I'm saying they're already, possibly already getting that chemistry together. But we know what McCutcheon is. We know what type of powerhouse that program is. I don't think from looking at Sandy Spill's transfer list, I don't think they got a lot of transfers in. I think they got one or two. I think one from Westlake. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Everybody knows that's a big rivalry. But this is our reason, ladies and gentlemen, why possibly saying Hillgrove, they can threaten McCutcheon for the crown in Marietta. But before we transition, I do want to pull up Asa Montgomery's friend. We want to react to that live because the brother can play. Obviously, being a Tech target, possibly could have some Georgia Tech viewers, in the chat. So let's tap into that for them. Naj, I'll let you narrate. ALT this year, playing on the URB.
Fadeaway jumper right there, getting to the sweet spot. Right here, nice pull-up J in rhythm. Easy motion. Right here, a little back down spin move inside with the finish. Nice English on the rim right there. Just over powering right there. Good little smooth jumper. Right over the defender hand. Doesn't matter. Get your hand up. Right there, smooth fadeaway. Polish game.
Hey.
Right there, boom. Just getting right there to that little sweet spot in the mid-range. Right there, nice little floater overhead, and then boom, nice little poster over the head top. Easy money right there in the lane, over the defender, too easy, and one bucket. And right here, boom, just getting into your spot. And you can tell he practices that, right? Just getting shots up consistently, probably just over 200, 300, 400 shots a game, and see he's shooting it with rhythm, right? That mid-range, three-point shot right here. Nice lay with the English with the foul. I mean, get everything you need for him to do. Right there, nice little fadeaway. Boom. Nice jam. Good little putback. Same thing right here. Nice little alley. Same thing there. Just real polished player. Really good game. Should be really good. Really good.
100%. I mean, I don't think he's as tall as Ace Newell, but I kind of got those vibes. No play on the first name. But I can see it. So, what I'm saying? Since we're on, Asa, and obviously we just talked about Georgia Tech. How big of a get would that be for that program? And I'm saying, how do you feel like he would fit into that Coach Stoudemire system?
Kind of gives you a Bay Dongo type of a feeling a little bit. Being able to finish around the rim. I didn't see a lot of the defensive highlights there, but being able to get to his spots on the floor, at least this one, he's a more probably better shooter. Bay Dongo's continuing to work on that in this game. But, when you watch, obviously, him play, you see finish around the rim, good lob threat, but not just a lob threat. Can get into the post, knock down shots. Would be a great addition. You know what I'm saying? He's been recruiting a big man at an elite level so far. Muhammad Silla, right? Gotten in Peyton Marshall from the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten in high caliber guys, Ibrahim Soare. So I think he'd be another great addition. And obviously, Coach Stoudemire, like I said, I think he's one of the best coaches recruiting right now.
Absolutely. This would be another big get, man, especially if you get either both of the twins, Haynes twins, Chase Lumpkin, and down the street from Marietta, Asa Montgomery, and possibly one of the guards, because I'm saying they're talented too. Bryson Jets, 2028 known name, so it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But we're gonna keep things rolling in the high school segment. You know what I'm saying? I'm adding this segment. You know what I'm saying? That's cool with you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Rising stars from the CC, Coweta County, where I'm located. And today we're gonna be going over the film of Eric Coleman. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's 20. Eric's a 2027 guard, guard forward. You know what I mean, junior. You know what I'm saying? Catching a lot of buzz, man. I think he did his thing. And was it Relentless Hoops? Somebody's circuit. You know what I'm saying? His name's buzzing out there. So, you know what I'm saying? Had to give him some shine. So, you know what I mean? We're gonna let the people see, and I'm gonna also get your thoughts as well, brother. But when you think explosive guard, you know what I'm saying, find his teammates, get in the rhythm, get a couple buckets. Still got some ways to go, ways to develop. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this film, so I kind of critique what you should do better on Eric, because I know you're gonna see this, because I'm gonna share this out to you, brother. But
I'll let you know it.
All right. Hey, off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? You like somebody who can do offensive rebound things. That's big. Quick off the dribble here. Little right-handed floater. You're going to see a lot of that coming out of his game in this film, ladies and gentlemen. Defensive, you know what I mean? Very athletic, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to contribute day one to just playing defense. That's how you get spots on the floor. That's how you get minutes at the next level. All right, here, open field. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You know what I mean? This, you know what I'm saying? This a free player. A free flow player, I should say. Coming back door here for the live threat. So you just got to watch a back door him. Many ways to skin the cat for him. Leaking down transition. You got to get back, McNair. You got to get back. That's too easy for anybody. That's a layup or a dunk. All right. That's a shot from 35 there. That's a nice shot. I need to see how consistent that's going to be. Called for the screen. Denies it. Goes inside. Right. Quick off the dribble, man. As you can see, the athleticism here. All right. Bad pass. Takes that all the way. Touchdown. Don't jump with him. Again, you know what I mean? Offensive rebound. You know what I'm saying? Any offensive rebound is good, but definitely times two when it's a free throw. Nice there again. Right-handed runner. Attacking the basket, I'm very pleased with the game, but we're going to see some. We might have already seen. I might have just been too excited. But one thing I definitely seen that he needs to work on is when he's taking that outside jumper like that. You want to see him pull up. I've seen a couple of times in this film. He's taking that dribble. I know Coach Gas like, son, don't put the ball on the floor. Just pull up. So we're seeing it right there. I just want to see that to be more consistent. We'll do about 3 more here. Let's he gets on the run again. Very athletic, you know what I'm saying? Layup. I don't mind that there, but at the next level and beyond, you have to trust that jump shot from outside. But I don't mind you going downhill. Maybe it was a slow game from outside, so kudos to you. But as you see, man, this we'll do one more. I gotta show some love to the homies. Okay. Being at McIntosh in Fayetteville. So I mean, very pleased with this film. Was watching it yesterday. Saw the pat dribble. We want to clean that up, but very athletic going to the rim. Was very pleased. 2027 guard. Shout out to E. What's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I think pretty good game. Can shoot it from outside. Can drive to the rim. Plays defense. Not the biggest guy in the world, but I think, like you said, it's just having that comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you open on the wing, just pull him with no hesitation. We see, obviously, he can shoot it deep and far. You know, but continue to hone that craft. You know, probably seeing, I know he plays a little bit of, you know, off shot or like basically off kilter a little bit. When I say that, I'm saying like catch and shoot, you know, things like that. But he'll probably have to just work on putting the ball a little bit on the floor a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean like give up a free shot you got on the wing, but showing a little bit of the ball handle a little bit more, right? He showed it there, obviously, you know, dribbling down, getting the steal and dunking it, but just showing different, you know, moves he can do to kind of free himself a little bit and create for himself.
All right. So A to Z or A to C. Okay, CD. So A to C. What's your grade on that film?
Solid B.
Solid B. Okay. I'm gonna stick right there. I'm gonna go B minus. And I know you're real tough on the football guys. You know what I'm saying? For being a guy how I am, I gotta continue that same rigorous grading scale you've already, you know what I'm saying, head over these players' heads. So we gotta keep our thumb on that game. Keep it tight.
Facts.
All right, man. So what you've all been waiting for before, as we wrap up the high school segment, we're gonna look at and evaluate arrivals. Most recently updated 2028 class rankings. AJ Williams, number 1 prospect. Bama Toure, another name to keep an eye on, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably the player with the most upside, 7 foot plus, putting the ball on the floor, or 7 foot right now, or listed 7 foot. Could put the ball on the floor, got a nice fade game. Some will argue they should be one, but you know what I'm saying? AJ Williams has been doing his thing. Eric Dampier, traditional back to the basket guy. No surprise here. But I'm just not a big fan of traditional back to the back. I need to see a little more face-up game from the young man and passing ability. But nonetheless, I'm not surprised here. 6'9", 230. You got to, right? You got to go with the bigger player unless you're AJ Williams. But you know what I'm saying? Get in here, brother. You know what I mean? I know you already talked about Bentley at 6, AJ Williams at 1. Just did anybody else stick out to you on this list?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with definitely Eric Dampier. True post player, 6'10" in height. Earned a gold medal this year with USA Basketball in the U16 FIBA Americas Championship. Really good shot making ability, pulling off gravity. Is able to create and erase advantages on the block. So, want to see what he's able to do. Toure is obviously phenomenal, 7-footer. Can do a lot of different things well. Only a sophomore, but just has that different kind of twitch to him and phenomenal instincts that makes him a potent player. So Toure, bright future ahead, was really good this year. 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, average 9.5 points per game on his circuit. So he looks like to have, obviously a really good campaign for him. And then I think the biggest thing is Georgia has 8 players on this top 100 compared to Texas only 7, California 6, and Florida 5. And the crazy thing is today on social media they posted is Florida the new top hoop state. And I don't know. I feel like Georgia's still in that conversation. Now, I know Nasir Anderson. I know Caleb Holt, who was obviously formerly of Huntsville and Bama, who came to Grayson for a year. They played in Georgia and went to Florida. I just think Florida has that allure of that national circuit. There's not a lot of Georgia teams on the national circuit. Now, they play. You got the Norcrosses. You got the Wheelers. You got the McEatrins that play the national schedule. But I mean, consistently, They don't really have that. But last one, I want to point out Mekhi White. Obviously, he's the top-ranked point guard in 2028 class. He transferred from Wolfboro to Brewster Academy. Averaged 26.2 points as a true freshman. Played 17U all summer with the City Rocks on the EYBL circuit. He played up 2 grade levels, and he averaged 14 points throughout the Peach Jam. So imagine you playing up 2 levels and still averaging 14 points a game. Also had standout performances at the USA Basketball and elite camps. So his future is very bright, and being able to do that at such a young age says a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah, Mekhi's like that, man. You know what I'm saying? To play up 2 age groups, you know what I'm saying, still have 13.7 points per game. That's elite. But you can't count, you know what I'm saying? If Florida people that count Nasir Anderson and Caleb Holt, you're sadly mistaken. And if we're going to stick to that sentiment, you know what I mean? Georgia really can't count Caleb Holt because he's from Huntsville, Alabama. But I digress. Miles Hayes, 12th ranked overall. That's solid. Let's see if not really anybody else really caught my eye. Still a lot of names. They're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, obviously learn over time. This is the most recent updates. We'll scroll through. Okay,
it's still early too, Bacon. That's why I wasn't full bad because, like you said, we got to get used to those names. And think about this to bring home your point even more. Rivals didn't rate anybody a 5-star because they said, "Hey, we don't want to rate you a 5-star," and then take away that ranking as it progresses and goes. So I think that's why I say it gives everybody equal playing field. You figure out how good this player is, and then you go. So as I said, we'll get more acclimated with these guys. These guys, y'all, if we're not lying, they were true freshmen last year. They're just entering into their sophomore campaigns, which won't be until October, November. So we ain't gonna know everybody unless she was on the circuit the entire summer, which unfortunately we weren't able to be. But that's what I would say there.
Nah, I agree. But you do have Kingston Canupa, Con Canupa's brother, Ian Archibald, Not sure if that's in relation to Nate Great, Archibald. Let's see anybody else that stands out. I'm kind of gonna go through it here, kind of quick. Isaiah Hamilton, 6'6". Trey McKinney. Don't recognize anybody else, but like Naj just alluded to, ladies and gentlemen, it's work in progress. We're gonna have everybody where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Come showtime, but definitely a big shout out to AJ Williams for taking that top spot. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna hold a butt. You know what I'm saying? Definitely keep my number 2 player in mind, brother. You know what I'm saying? 7 foot, can do it all, man. I like AJ, but you know, you gotta go if you're going just upside alone, that's number 1 player. But AJ has been doing this thing, and we've seen we've seen the David and Goliath complex and many other things. So we'll as a Georgia guys, we'll hope he holds that ranking down for the state. Nonetheless, transitioning into college basketball, we're going to react to ESPN's way too early, or just early. I'm not going to say way too early because the season is around the corner. Top 25 rankings. Purdue at number 1. I can definitely understand why. You know what I mean? They had a solid year last year. Potentially, but not even potentially, the best shooting team in the nation. You know what I mean? Braden Smith did his thing last year, averaging 15.8 points, getting it done, 8.7 assists per game. You know what I mean? Can shoot. I think everybody on this list, shot 40% or more from 3. So, first and foremost, man, starting with the Boilermakers, do you think they're the rightful owners and holders of the number 1 spot?
I don't know. It's a little high. I like Braden Smith, averaged 15.8 points per game last year. Obviously got a lot of great returners, you know, and guys that could be obviously fit for that Wooden Award, which is National Player of the Year. You know, Smith had a really good year last year, you know, consistent first-team All-American. He's special. You know, just do they have enough, you know, around him in order to kind of help this team? I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I like Fletcher Lawyer. He did really good this last year, 13.8 points per game. Can the transfer from South Dakota State, Oscar Clough, be enough for them? That's where I got my eyes on at the big man. They haven't had a great big man since, you know, obviously the one that went to Memphis. You know, I can't think of his name right now. Zach Edey. So, you know, a little high. The one that's kind of, I think, a little too high is Florida.
Really?
Florida at number 2 is high, bro. Like, they lost a lot of their team, you know, that went off to the league. I mean, they do bring a good transfer in Boogie Flynn, you know, average 13.5, but can he take that next step forward? They do bring back Thomas Hawk, who showed you some good things, in Alex Condon. So you do got a pretty good front court, but it's just, is that enough, right? Xavier Lee's coming up from Princeton, 17 points per game.
Bucket.
He's a bucket, but like, does that transfer over to SEC basketball? 14 teams made it to the tournament last year. You got to be playing pretty good. And Ken Chinyulo, who was a pretty good role player last year, let's say he's a projected starter, is he ready for that starter position? So I just feel like there's a lot more question marks than answers when it comes to Florida going into the season. Mm-hmm. I think that is a little bit high for me. They are a top 5 team, top 10 team, but 2 is a little high.
So to that point, who should be at the 1 and 2 spots that you feel like Purdue and Florida is too high?
I like Houston. I mean, Houston once again brings back a lot of their roster. They do a really good job of roster construction and bringing guys in. You know, they're going to have some young guys playing as well, but credit to their head coach, man. He's one of the better ones, you know, I think in the country. So I think Houston, I would go number 1 for me. I would put UConn 2. I think they'll be better. I know you got a question about their head coach and what he had to say here recently, and we'll address that here in a moment. But I think they've surrounded that team with a lot better talent than what they've had or what they had last year. I feel like guys like, you know, that came in, didn't play at a high level, like Liam McNeely. He was good, but he wasn't what a Stephon Castle was, or he wasn't what some of those top guys when they were winning titles were. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they should be a top team this year and how they recruited. You bring back Caravan for another year. That should help out a lot. Bringing a really good guard, Silas Demary, who's only going to help your team. So I feel like he got better pieces, more talented pieces that should help out.
Yeah, you're right. I think Liam McNeely was the Mr. Irrelevant this year, last pick of the NBA draft.
Yeah, he just wasn't as good as people thought.
Yeah, that's true. That's coming out of my very rated high. Yeah, I mean, like Is Houston number one? I mean, I like Florida, brother. I'm really. It's mainly the Xavier. I mean, Will Boogie Flannery, Xavier Lee. We know what they did last year defensively. I like Florida's head coach, so I'm gonna stamp them at number one. I mean, Purdue. They always lean heavy on Purdue, so I don't even really know what to say or really where to put them if you're not, rank them high. But for the case of this segment, we'll put them at three behind Florida and Houston. But I will say I think UConn's gonna have some things to say this year. You know what I mean? Just because, man, they took Florida to the wire last year. You know what I mean? That's something that cannot be forgotten. Another team that I'm very high on, St. John. Coach, what's his name? Coach Rick Pitino. Coach Rick Pitino did a phenomenal job last year with St. John's, bringing in Ian Jackson, bringing him closer to home.
Can he get the most out of him? That's the question.
Yeah, I think so. I think just being close to home, you know what I'm saying, getting some chopped cheese on the regular. Hopefully he's not poor because his brother's Muslim now. But just playing at home in front of his fans, you know what I'm saying, feeling more at home. And we know we know what the resume Coach Rick Pitino has. So I would say so. I think we could see that 11.9 possibly creep into the 13s, 5 to 6 rebounds. I'm saying probably possibly shooting 48% from the field. We'll see from three. I don't think he shot like low 30s last year from outside. But I just think him being closer to home, I think we're going to see that. But a team that I'm surprised that was rated not inside the top 5 was the BYU Cougars with AJ DeBonta coming in, and
they were good last year. They were pretty good last year. I think the hesitation on the top 5 Bacon is just DeBonta coming in as a freshman. You never know, bro. Like, it's different in college football. Like, you'd be expecting like those guys come in, they play, obviously contribute Bacon, but it's not easy to ask a true freshman to come in there and be dominant. You know what I'm saying? Another level, take some time. Like, we've seen Cooper Fly had an historic season last year. We don't talk about that enough. But DeBonta's great. I think he's ready. And they had the pieces obviously last year. It's just how does that fit into the Cougars team this year?
True. No, very true. I think he's ready too, man. You know what I'm saying? Seen him last year at the Peach, and he's been working with Lethal Shooter. Lethal's been cleaning up his game a little bit, a little telltale signs. He said, brother, don't stutter into the three. You got to walk into that three. So I think him clean up little things like that. He's all right. I think did he enroll early? No, he didn't. He did. No, he didn't. I don't think he enrolled early, if I'm not mistaken. But I think this BYU team is going to be scary. Having a Baylor transfer, Robert Wright, another transfer, Kennard Davis from Southern Illinois, averages 16.3 points per game. Richie Saunders. You just put scores around them. I think the Bonds are going to get you there. Definitely going to be a big player, Big 12 Player of the Year. And he's going to be knocking on that door very heavily for the Naismith Player of the Year and possibly the Wooden Award. Let's see, Louisville. Louisville's another good school. You know what I'm saying? The head coach has been doing his thing out there. Coach Kelsey, you know what I mean? What more do you say? They don't duck the smoke, and they got a tough schedule, tough non-conference schedule, man. So, but, when you bring in the number 8 player in the country, Michael Brown, Liam McNeely's brother, Isaac McNeely, you know what I'm saying, Javon Hadley, a couple of transfers in. I think they're going to continue to build on this year. And I think they beat Kentucky for the second year in a row. But what's your thoughts on this Louisville program in general, my friend?
Yeah, Louisville had a pretty good year last year in the ACC. Obviously, it's a top 4 team. Just I think they had a disappointing showing in the postseason. Just seeing them take that next level. Like you said, they got Mikel Brown Jr. Everybody's expecting him to take that next step forward. So just, can he do enough in order to, be, efficient this year, be that top tier player? And I think if Mikel Brown can, let's just say he's a top ACC player, even as a freshman, I think they can have a chance. But I'm gonna hold off until I see it.
100%. I mean, we're gonna throw past Kentucky here for the moment. Team, now I'm surprised we don't see Christian. Well, let's talk about Christian Anderson real quick before we get to the Duke conversation. Christian Anderson, Texas Tech Raiders top 10, getting it done on the gridiron and on the hardwood, that old money, as you like to call it. But you know what I'm saying? Christian Anderson, 10.6 points per game. I like to see him push that number to like 12 to 13. Obviously, I think he shot 40% from outside this year. But what, in your opinion, what would you like Christian? What steps would you like him to take forward going into, I think, his sophomore season?
I don't think there's too much. Maybe just getting the team involved a little bit more. Working on just playmaking ability. Only 2.2 assists. There was some games where he was a marksman, and he was putting up those points for them at a high level. I mean, he was starting for Texas Tech at one point. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's gotten even better. Maybe a little bit more efficient from the field, but I think he'll do that. I'm sure he's gotten up a lot of shots. So I think he has a bright future ahead. He's going to be one of the main guys because one of the main guys from last year transferred out. So Christian has all he needs at his disposal to be special this year. I think just being a more consistent shooter, setting up the team a little bit more, he should be fine.
Like we said, last season, they had a magical comeback win against Arkansas to send them home, who's right behind them at the 11th spot. But Duke at the 12th spot, ironic number there. That's Karen Boozer's number. I'm surprised to see him this low, man. I'm sure you'll say otherwise.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I mean, I told you just seeing what they got coming back is really good. It's just a lot of unknowns with Duke. I think when you have a lot of those unknowns, you rate them at this level. Now, how good can Cameron and Caden Boozer be? What kind of contributors will they be? Will he unlock Isaiah Evans? We know he's a special talent. He's not just a shooter,
Right.
And just do they have enough pieces and depth on the team to get them to that level? So I think right outside the top 10 is good. And a lot of people will disagree, and I know Boozer feels like they're being disrespected a little bit, but just a lot of more unknowns around Duke compared to years past. Did a really good job recruiting as well. Let me put that out there, but just got to see it.
I'll leave it at this. As the first line says, Clan Boozer, he does nothing but win awards and live trophies. Arizona Wildcats, 13. Auburn, Tahad Pettiford. Let's see. Tahad Pettiford, he's only started one game. So the news around Tahad after that, after his incident, haven't heard a lot. So that's good. I think he's been hooping at different little pop-ups. So that's good. Auburn at 14. What do you think?
Solid spot. Same kind of thing with Auburn. They did get Tahad Pettiford back, which helps obviously a lot. But just when you lose so much talent, Janai Broom, you lose some of those pieces.
Right.
I think that's what the concern is.
Yeah, losing that senior big man to Janai Broom, that's gonna be tough to replace. Man, he was amazing player. Well, he was a player of the year candidate for a reason. I think he was a player of the year. Fighting Illini, Illinois, Andrei Stojakovic. That's going to be a name to watch there. Zuvir Ivisic transfers in from Arkansas, or the brothers actually, but Zuvir transferred in. LeBron Fireline, Alabama at 8. Lost a lot, right? Lost the young man from Augusta. He transferred out. That's big as well. But I think Coach Nate Oates, you know what I'm saying, he uses as bulletin board material. And he had those guys ready. You know what I mean? Aiden Holloway returning, Jalil Bethea, Aiden Sherrill. This should be a good squad. You know what I'm saying? Stop me. There's a team that you want to highlight with us coming to the end of the 25, Naj. Let's see. Gonzaga at 19. I like Gonzaga's coach. He's been tenured in Gonzaga for a long time. Kansas. Got to talk about Kansas. Kansas at 21. They lost a lot. Lost a lot, man. I think the Bonser, if they would have secured the Bonser, they'd have been high. But I'm still high on Darren Peterson. But you just never know with this Kansas team, man. Last year very high, and they you know what I'm saying, they clipped us. They clipped a lot of people's brackets. So what's your thoughts on Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks being at 21?
Yeah, good spot. I mean, just got to see it. The last year's team really disappointed. They did get Darren Peterson. It's just, like you said, you can't judge this team until you know for sure. You know what I'm saying? So Jury's still out on them. We know Bill Self has a lifetime contract. He always
Yep.
looks high in talent. It's just can the pieces around those pieces they got from outside, from Illinois, from Bonaventure, from Loyola, Chicago. Can they be contributors? The big question.
100%, man. So we'll probably wrap it up. Creighton 2020. Rick Barnes who just received another lifetime deal. Coach Brown and Tarios at 25 rounded out. But let's
I
switch.
want to hit Tennessee.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to be a team to watch. They got Nate Mitt. You can make the argument 23 is a little bit low, Bacon. But
Yeah.
Jacob Gillespie, he was, lethal, obviously, at Maryland. You get Amari Abraham. Now, they're going to replace, obviously, Zakai Ziegler and the great backcourt you had. But then you got the true freshman, Nate Mitt, who they're very high on. Rick Barnes has talked a lot about. And if Felix Alparo comes back another year, I think Tennessee's being slept on just a little bit. Then it should be a team, and it will depend on same thing I said with obviously Duke. Will depend on how good Nate Mitt is that first year with the program.
Absolutely, brother. I agree. I'm very high on Nate Mitt as well. You know what I'm saying? Probably one of the best pure scorers of his class. You know what I mean? 5-star prospect coming out of Virginia. Interesting to see him go to Tennessee, but nonetheless, Rick Barnes pulled it off. And that's why he signed to a lifetime contract. But do you think that Tennessee was justified for giving him that lifetime contract?
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're gonna say, Bacon. Oh, well, he hasn't won a state title or a national championship notch, so why would they do that? But he's one of the better coaches in college basketball, right? And think about it. He's won 66.4% of his games in 10 seasons with Tennessee, right? They've been 112 and 67 in SEC play. We know how lethal that's been, obviously, so far this year. So I think that's a piece that we got to obviously realize. He's won 25 games in 6 seasons with Tennessee, Bacon, with 4 Sweet 16s, 4 top 10 finishes, 3 SEC championships, and 2 Elite 8 berths. So they've been teetering on that elite status, right? I think they're a program that's known. Can I say Tennessee's a blue blood yet? No. But they've been teetering on being that top tier program. Now, bringing a title to Tennessee, he'll be beloved forever. But now, it's them taking that next step. It's them beating a Florida in the national tournament, right? It's them beating a UConn in the national tournament, right? And when I'm saying them type of games, I'm talking about the top tier matchups and winning at a high level. Not easy to do because there's so much roster construction and changes that you have to make, which is going to bring into our next question. I know Bacon with college basketball and NBA. So I think he's done an outstanding job for the program and has brought them to new heights in a sense. Since he's been there, they've always been known, but the boys basketball program, it's more like the girls basketball program is known more than the boys. I think he's changed that a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Barnes has always been an elite recruiter. You know what I mean? Recruited Kevin Durant during his time at Texas. People forget about that. Coach Barnes has been around the game of basketball for a long time. TJ Ford as well. 2 player of the year that he's coached. You know what I mean? 2 SEC, championship or the SEC tournaments, 2024 and 2018. So he's been getting the job done. One thing missing, which is why I was a little skeptical. You can extend them 3, 4, 5 years, but lifetime? I know good coaches, good leaders don't come around all the time. They don't just grow on trees. But I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? But my thing is, let me see how old Coach is. Coach is 71 years old. Nick Saban just got out of the game. How long is he going to continue to coach, and how long is he going to continue to relate to these players? Which is like, I don't know. Maybe lifetime contract is that. How long is that lifetime contract going to last? But that's Tennessee. I get it. He's a legendary coach. So I understand that sentiment there. So we'll see how things goes. But I agree with you. I do think Tennessee is very under. I think it should be probably. I think it should be top inside the top 20. I'll give them that
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that middle pack team for sure.
So to that point about. We just talked about Rick Barnes getting older. We talked about Nick Saban getting out of the game as a coach. Do you think it's more stressful to be a coach at the NBA level or in college basketball?
I would say college basketball. I think NBA, there's a heightened level of expectation and, the ability that you have to obviously win, Bacon. But I definitely think, college, there's so much roster turnover. To the NBA, yes, Bacon, there is, but I mean, you have guys leaving every year, right? Sometimes, you'll keep – basically, let me say this, Bacon. Imagine a situation where NBA, you wouldn't have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander anymore. You wouldn't have Jalen Williams anymore, or you wouldn't have Chet Holmgren who can leave after a year. Yes, you have negotiations and things like that, but they're locked in for the long term. College coaches have to battle with that every single year. Nate Amitt's not going to be there next year for Rick Barnes in Tennessee. AJ DeBonsa is not going to be there next year for BYU and the Cougars, right? These top end players are not coming back. You know what I'm saying? So the ability to have to deal with all that, the NIL fund and stuff you have to pay these kids, it's not easy dealing with the egos. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree, professional, I can easily cut you and go get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I can easily do that. And I got guys that are younger that are hungrier than you. If you ever think that this thing is just too easy, you know what I'm saying? I can go to the G League and get somebody that wants to play and been waiting for their spot. So compared to college, you got to go get that dude's replacement. Even when you got him and got him for the year, hey, we got to start thinking about the next guy we're going to bring in. Right? It's constant recruiting, transfer portal. You got to deal with that. Does this guy fit our scheme and our system? There's just so many variables, I think, that definitely makes the difference. And I think NBA, you have more at your disposal. As a coach, you ain't got to worry about players bringing in. Let the GM handle that. And I know you got recruiting coordinators and assistants and stuff like that. But as the coach, remember, Bacon, you get the final stamp of approval. You get the final say-so. It's not the same with the NBA. GM usually controls all that.
Yeah, I'm not with you, brother. I think it's much stressful to coach in the NBA, and my reason is you look at what happened in Denver. You look at Coach, Nikola Jokic didn't necessarily think too fond of, of the coach out there. Got him fired. Look at Coach Mike Brown. After having a successful stint with the Golden State Warriors, went out there to Sacramento, had a solid start. What's the name of the guard out there? De'Aaron Fox. They didn't get along. You know what I'm saying? Fired him halfway through the season, though it was the second year, I believe, or the first year. No, the second year. They had a good first year. But in college basketball, you got a little more longevity. I think it's easier to manage egos on the college basketball level. The young men, yeah, you got to pay them, but college basketball has always had to deal with the one and done thing. So if you got a headache and he's good, he's probably gone. He's going to transfer in the NBA. You got to really got to, I don't want to say what Julian says, but you got to appease, those franchise players, or you can find yourself out of a job and holding the mic. But so I think it's more stressful to play in the NBA. But I'm not downgrading or overlooking what you got to do as a college basketball coach. But I think they're still trying to grow, because as we see on the high school level all the time, some of these coaches don't develop. That's why you see a lot of people go to Part 6. But even though you are getting developed at these more prep schools, you're still getting fine-tuned at a collegiate level. Once you get to the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're top pick, I got it, coach. You know what I mean? So that's my sentiment, brother. All righty. Let's see. Dan Hurley. Talking about Dan Hurley before we get to Georgia Tech and wrap up our college basketball segment. There were some reports. I don't know how it flew under the radar for most of the offseason, but he went on record and said he considered stepping down to last season, saying that the emotional drain after trying to win 3 championships in a row. Hurley reported he had preliminary talks with Fox Sports to become a TV analyst. So when you saw his headline, man, after seeing what happened last year with kind of his erupt, him erupting at a reporter. Just what's your thoughts on this news?
I think he just put unnecessary stress on himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we knew UConn definitely platoon swapped that roster. It wasn't the same team, and then he's been doing it the last couple of years. Everybody already knows that Dan Hurley is a top-air coach. So I think the pressure of winning 3 in a row, I mean, yeah, that makes you a legend, but he's already known in the college basketball world as one of the best coaches. So I think he just put undue stress on himself and to win in a climatic climate. That's tough to do. Winning 2 is a big accomplishment with how much turnover it is every year. So, I definitely can see why it was tough, because he's probably hard on himself and wanting to win another one, man. But at least now that's out the window. He ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? He can just focus on the year, get the best out of his players, and think about it. You can still be a legendary coach. You don't have to win one every year, right? He can win this year. That's 3 and 4 years. Even if he don't win this year, that's 3 and 5 years, right? right? You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to win it every year. I just think he put unnecessary stress on himself and drain instead of just trying to be the best coach he can be and living with the results. You're not going to have the same caliber of talent or players or depth from year to year. It changes. And the best thing you can do as a coach is try to adapt to that. So I think he just put unnecessary stress on himself, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist, you know what I'm saying? He holds himself to a higher standard, and that's what comes along with that. Yeah, he definitely cooked himself with this one. You know what I mean? Being offered an NBA job, we should know that. But you don't want to get too complacent. I think that's what it is. That's what separates and makes people great. You know what I'm saying? Jordan had to play that mind game with himself, Kobe, Tom Brady. Dan Hurley, being a coach, but you don't want to be too stressed out because your players can feed off that energy for better or for worse. But yeah, I agree with you to that sentiment. So we're going to move on to the next topic. Mississippi State will play Georgia Tech December 3rd. I think Coach Dan Stoudemire's got what it takes. I think it's the year to kind of get things over the hump. I think this very well could be one of the first teams they beat in the SEC. Chris Johns, head coach, or Chris Jans, I believe, head coach out there in Mississippi State. That don't really have nothing too crazy. I know they got a couple transfers. You know what I'm saying? Quincy Ballard, you know what I'm saying, center, and they're more senior laden. But I think Tech, American, you know what I'm saying, go to Mississippi and take one back home to Atlanta with the SEC win.
Yeah, don't sleep on Mississippi State, bro. I feel like you're sleeping on them. They went 21-12 last year. They made the tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on them. They got John Hubbard coming back, average 18.9 points per game for them. They got senior experience. That does a lot for you, Bacon. Now, obviously, Georgia Tech got some young players, thoroughbreds coming in. They got some, veteran experience as well. But that could be a quad one win for them, especially getting that on the road. So that's a big game, and you want to get them early and often, because how good will the ACC be this year? How many wins can you get? You can obviously toggle, Duke in there. Will UNC have a better year this year with Caleb Wilson? Not sure yet. Remains to be seen, right? Louisville probably should be a quad one win. You know what I'm saying, this upcoming year. But how many more teams can you say? Well, Syracuse would be better, with what they're bringing to the table now. And obviously getting, Kyon Anthony and getting a couple of Tech players that used to be there, right? Ibrahim Soiree, obviously, point guard Nate George. Will they be better, right? Still a lot of more questions in the ACC to see who's going to kind of emerge. Will Miami not be a shell of themselves? So that could be a key win for you, early on in the season, December 3rd, to kind of add that quality to your resume. And that's all you want to do. Like, if you can get they got about 15 wins last year. If you get to that 20 mark, if you take a couple quad one wins on there, you should be able to make a tournament. So them opportunities to play the SEC, you got to take advantage of, and you got to try to beat them. But don't sleep on Mississippi State. Really good team.
So you're saying you like Tech in that matchup? It sounds like you like Tech versus Mississippi State and Louisville.
Tech should be able to do their thing. I'm not sleeping on Mississippi State because of the tournament team from a year ago. Right. I got to see how Tech looks like, the first couple of games, right? So another test, Bacon, when they have to go to Athens at Georgia, right? Jeremiah Wilkinson, right? Obviously, you got Jacob Wilkins. Like, Georgia should be another good team. So those, like, the SEC games that have circled, because 14 teams from that conference made the tournament.
Yeah, probably toughest conference in college basketball right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I agree. I think, mixing in Kraft, Baden Dongo being in his second year, Darion Sutton, being in his second year as well. Mixing in the young guys. Payne Marshall. I just think the team's got a lot of balance. I could be biased to the home team, but with the balance, I think Coach Damon's got everything out of his hands that he needs to play chess and not checkers like he was playing last year. So that's why I'm bullish on the Jackets. I think they'll make Sweet 16 this year, and I got to stick to it.
That's bold. So go make your proclamation, man. You gonna have to clip this and put it out.
All right, sure. So we'll put it out to the people, man. Hated to love it.
No, I'm saying you got to put out your prediction. You got to say it like fully.
Oh, fully? What you mean, like score prediction?
No, like what you just said. You got Tech finishing.
Say one more time, brother.
What you have Tech finishing this year?
Oh, like the record?
No, what you just said.
Like Sweet 16. I got to take a going to the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, nothing less.
It's a bold prediction, bro. Nobody's expecting that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah. I'll be like, man, I got a bold prediction. I got Tech making the Sweet 16, man. You heard it here
for sure, brother. You know what I mean? I got you. Bold prediction, man. I got, you know what I'm saying, for head of the love it. I got Georgia Tech Sweet 16. I think Coach Daniel Stoudemire's got what he needs this year. Mix of youth and age. Cam Kraft coming in, one of the best scorers coming out of high school. Baden Dongo. We already know what he is, you know what I'm saying? Efficient scorer, Muhammad Silla, rim protector, Peyton Marshall. Really adding size and diversification to his lineup. Kai Fleming, I think he's got a potential to come in and potentially average 8 to 10, 11 points as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? I feel very strong in his game. You know what I mean? A lot of good pieces off the bench as well. I like the young man from Boston College. A really good guard and wing laden team. So that's my point. I'm sticking to it. You know what I mean? So Georgia Tech Sweet 16, you can book it. And possibly top 2 in the ACC. There it is, man. But we'll move on to some WBB, some women's basketball. Get the people in and out, feed them what they need, and you know what I'm saying, send them along their way. So some Best Fest footage. You know what I mean? We like to tap in with Ernie Leach. You got a lot of good information. She talked about NIL and how and why college basketball athletes need to take advantage of the time.
You have a record label. You have multiple businesses. You're traveling.
Back this up. Shout out to Joy.
The fact is that it's a distraction. So how do you stay focused when, you have a record label, you have multiple businesses, you're traveling, but you are always first a student athlete?
And let me tell you, even like coaches or administration, like they'll try to do little things or try to, say like, can you handle all this? Like, that's what I get a lot. And honestly, I be like, bro, you know how many suicides I done ran, how many weights I done did, like, and you know what I'm saying? And back in the day, athletes weren't getting paid for it. Like, he did all that 6 a.m. track, he did it, and they didn't get anything from it. I feel like you have to use these 4 years to your advantage because there will never be another opportunity like NIL again. I'm not gonna lie, like, so for me, I'm like, I gotta have these 4 years set up my next 40 years. Like, I'm not really worried about right now. Like, I'm worried about the future.
Might drop next 4 years, setting up your next 40. You know what I mean? You can't say it any better than that. Take advantage of these times. Don't just blow your money, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Invest. If you want to get a record label, if you want to, like a young man, I think he goes out west, taking his money, he's opening up Ben & Jerry's, making that money. So you gotta be business minded what you're doing with your NIL. Like she said, this time will never come around again. But Naj, you know what I'm saying? Being a financial savant student of the game that you are, just what do you think about her sentiment?
Yeah, I think it was a great answer, brother. I wish more athletes thought the way that she thought. And think about what she said. Your next 4 years have to be your next 40 years. Wasn't that something common we used to say about college itself?
Yeah. That's
right?
Right.
Make a 4-year decision, not a 4-year decision.
Yeah.
So I think, like she said, you have to take advantage of the empowerment that you're getting now and the ability to sign and ink these deals so early. Not have to wait till you become a pro or professional when likely your career is shortened. Think about this, Bacon. You're at the height of your career in college. Some of your best years of your life, both on and off the field. Why not take advantage and, like she said, create that generational wealth for yourself and them opportunities where you ain't got to worry. You know what I'm saying? So like she said, she got a record label, she got all this going on, but she can handle all that while doing a college coursework and, she's juggling basketball and all the stuff she has going on the side. She's going to be able to do life just fine. See, a lot of people sleep on college and say, oh, well, I don't need you to do this. I can easily go get this from here. But college teaches you a very important life lesson, how to balance so many different things and obstacles coming at you at once. That's literally what life is. You're going to be balancing kids. You're going to be balancing your career. You're going to be balancing your wife or your husband, whatever it may be, or relationship, right? You're going to be balancing trying to get a crib. Like, you're going to always have to balance multiple things. And that's why I love college, because it teaches you how to do that at a high level, you know what I'm saying, while balancing everything and while trying to stay distressed and also have a social life at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But to sum it all up, I wish more athletes thought like that because, like she said, you can really secure the bag. If you just teach yourself a little bit with the investing, with, getting a real estate property, short-term rentals with Airbnb, Turo, you know what I'm saying, start a car fleet line, you know what I'm saying, and have them renting out and getting money that way, The key now, the difference is you can get paid while you're in college, like she said, and that can set you up for the rest of your future instead of you having to wait to go professional to be able to do that. And it shows the difference in thinking now. Instead of, oh, I made all this money from these contracts, from the pro money, this is all I got. Now you can start getting that money and have it work for you. Now, this is not a football pod. This is the basketball pod. Did you see what recently EYL said about Saquon Barkley? Right? They said about Barkley how he had got, I think he got, his first contract or something like that. He never spent it, right? He was living off the endorsement money. What he did was, and you can look on EYL, he invested in Anthroscopic, Anduro, all these top private startup companies. Since he's accredited, you can become accredited when you have 250,000 or more. He started investing in those at the start, and then now he's parlaying and making money off it. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's not easy. That's not something that's taught in school. You have to teach that and learn that to yourself. Or you can watch guys like Earn Your Leisure, you know what I'm saying? Or the brother that Bacon you like to watch, you always send to me. I can't think of his name right now. The real esteemed black brother. But you can watch those guys and peel layers off from them, and you can do that for yourself too. And I think that's the brim of what she's saying. And I think that's why it's so powerful. If more college athletes thought like that, they'd be set for the future.
I think you're talking about that brother 19 Keys.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
All good, man. And I agree with you, brother. You summed it up very well, man. Another thing, man, I'm seeing a lot of high school coaches. I'm seeing y'all follow. When y'all see this, I'm seeing a lot of y'all follow Earn Your Leisure. I'm seeing y'all a lot. I follow 19 Keys, Ian the Investor, Ian the Master Investor, Ian the Master Investor. You know what I mean? I know y'all. If y'all aren't, man, definitely share it with your kids, man. And I know Coach Maxwell does the car wash, man. Not pulling your car, Coach, but you know what I'm saying, if we can figure out a way to get these kids at InvestFest, I know just a couple email or a DM. I know Rashad's. He's always checking his DM. Him and the DM, especially early, man, because I know a lot of coaches ain't doing it. Hit Rashad in the email or DM early. Hey, I got 15 kids. We want to come. Is there something we could do, to get these kids in there? If not, if you can figure out a way to pay the full price, just put these kids in an environment like that where they can learn about AI, where they can learn about crypto, where they can learn about investing, and how they can put money into a what you call them? What do they call them? S&P 500. What do they call it, brother? Index. Yeah, ETF indexes, just put them on a little game like that, man. That'd go a long way, man. So I like to see that get done more because, school system ain't doing too much for them. They ain't even teach them how to do taxes. They can learn how to get tax game and all that stuff, especially to get ready to go to college for the NIL stuff. They're going to need some financial literacy. They're going to be back in your hometown like, hey, coach, nothing wrong with it. Can I get on your staff? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can set them up to where that you put them in that environment, they go off to college and make it to the pros. If not, they got a chain of fleet of cars. They got a chain of restaurants or something. Hey, coach, man, you did this for me. I'm gonna stroke you off for checking. You need some new uniforms. You want to bring that you want to build a place on the south side where we can have our own lay point. Here you go, coach. Here's some money and start that building fund. And that's what you want. That's definitely what we want as journalists to cover something on the south side. So if we can get that done, coaches or schools, communities, that'd be amazing, man. I'm behind it 110%. But that'll well, no, we got some more. We got to talk about the dream. Naj, I talked about it at the beginning of the show where you were in the bathroom. I went through the stats and everything. The Dream have clinched #2 seed in the WNBA, man. Big shout out to Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray and the crew. But just what's your thoughts about, we had high expectations on them for them to come to fruition and be the #2 team in the W. That's getting the job done.
Yeah, think about the year they've had this year compared to the year they had last year. The marketable improvement, winning a lot of top games, winning the #2 seed is definitely big for them. It's going to hold a lot of pieces for them, having people come to College Park now for them games in the playoffs compared to them having to travel so much. Jordan, Canada was a big, addition back to the team. She's coming back from a hamstring injury, so that was obviously massive. But just them taking care of their business, right? Beating Phoenix, beating some of these top teams and tiebreakers that helped them, clinch the 2 seed. So I think it's only going to help them, help for the culture. Ryan Howard's had a great year. We've seen how they continue to go. Brittany Griner hasn't been as impressive as we thought that she was going to be, but they've been able to find other ways to win and other key players to step up. So I think it's phenomenal for them, and I definitely think they got some good pieces to make a run, man.
No, absolutely. I expected a lot more from BG when she came in, but I just think bringing her in as just, man, she's not the face of the W, but man, she still holds that esteem and everything she went through. So she could just be that vocal leader of just knowing what it takes to get there. So I think that she's serving that role as well. So that's good too. But also, I also want to state the ratings. Ratings have jumped a little bit since that EYL talk. So a couple of y'all must have shared the lie, man. We try to keep it real over here on the Justice and News podcast, man. But last topic to run out the WBB segment. Tina Charles surpassed Diana Taurasi, I believe, last night. And I mean, we all know 18 points. We know what type of legend she is, man. You know what I'm saying? 3,342 field goals, most in WNBA history, man. That's tough, brother. So you know what I'm saying? I know you cover. Actually, let's play it, man. Let's play it for the viewers. I know most of y'all that's tapped in, y'all ain't watching the W, man. So we got to force read it to you. All right. Little roll. Look at the pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Only young girl. Give it to me. Camilla. Right hand now. That's nice. You know what I'm saying? That's she do that in her sleep. You know, that just reps. Oh, you know, since we're on the topic of WBB, man, I don't know if you saw the situation that
I did with Reese.
Yeah, with Reese. What's your thoughts?
I heard you talking about it in the background.
Yeah. Did you think it was intentional or was it not?
Nah, I don't, man. But Reese got to lock in. Reese had a lot of rumors circulating around her, like her not liking the coach direction and calling out teammates. I get it. You want to play at a high level. They just don't have the talent around her yet. Like, she got to realize that. And it ain't going to be this team that gets her where she wants to be. It's just the truth. Like, they don't have enough, you know, pieces, weaponry just to help her.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's tough for her. She's used to winning. She's used to being at LSU, playing in the tournament. And they just got to construct a roster around her. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I wouldn't feel bad. Like, you know, what's your name? Just had breaking news too. Bacon, actually, you know what? I'll share that while we're talking. But even, you know, she's had a tough year this year. Caitlin Clark. So I know that's kind of her rival and, you know, stuff like that. But she's even had a tough year this year. You know, so, you know, I just think she just got to give it some time. It's nothing wrong with holding your teammates accountable. Just, you know, you got to be careful what you say and don't say because, you know, public going to run with it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, this is a great example. Like, talking about Caitlin Clark, she's out for the year. She's been dealing with a rash of injuries, Bacon, all year long. You know what I'm saying? And only played 13 games this year. You know what I'm saying? But she's out for the year. So that just goes to show you, like, and Indiana's getting better. They play well without her. You know, in some instances, they should make the playoffs. You know, but this goes to show, you know, I think Reese just has to continue to stay patient. You know, she's a star. Continue to work on her game. And I think eventually they're going to get the pieces they need. This is going to be a big-time draft coming up. I want to see how Juju recovers from her torn ACL. You still got some top-rated girls basketball players coming through the pike again. So all she needs is a dynamic guard to go with. And sometimes that might be a rookie, you know. But we've seen Paige Bookers this year. No, Dallas hasn't had the team success, but she's been very good this year when she's played. She just needs a backcourt running mate, I think, to help her.
Yeah. And I mean, she needs somebody in the backcourt for sure. Now, you remember that guard that was there? She was kind of adding on to a little bit of fuel to the fire with Caitlin Clark. It was like year one.
I wasn't Haley Van Liff, was it? It might have been her.
I wasn't Haley.
Her out.
Anyway, she used to play for the Dream too, but you know, so she got into it, Caitlin. But I think they traded her away that next year. So, but yeah, she needs somebody alongside her. You know, she lost McBride. You know, she's obviously playing with the Valkyries, I believe. So yeah, I agree, brother. You know, so she's gonna need somebody to go along with Camila Cardoso. But to see, I forgot Caitlin. She's out for the season, so that lets you know the fever. Probably first round exits. You You know what I'm saying? Barely got into the playoffs, 8th seed. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Well, I'm bullish on next year. Like you said, yeah, we got to see what Juju does. I think Juju is going to bring some more spark to the W because it kind of fell off this year. But next year, you know what I'm saying, we got to see Hannah Hidalgo should be going on. So we got to see how this year's women's college basketball, you know, so that should bring a spike, and let's see if we can ride it out. Because, I mean, despite what people say, man, I enjoy the game of basketball, and especially when the dream good. Any Atlanta team doing good, I'm good. So, but we'll follow the W in the playoffs, especially with the dream doing good as the season progresses. But another thing, I was trying to find the clip on YouTube, but I don't want to. But I don't want to waste too much time. But Jerry McCain, we all know Jerry McCain. To be a Nick in the Cuts, being a Nick in the Cuts documentary. They were talking about how they went into a lot of debt, and I want to get your thoughts on it too. Went into a lot of debt traveling with Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Watching them that first Peach Jamie blew up. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, we know we're going into debt. But we wanted to watch him on. We wanted to see him on. We wanted to watch it. His mom had to pick up a part-time job. His father works for Southwest Airlines, and obviously it all worked out. Jared, you know what I'm saying, first round draft pick, you know what I'm saying, should be up for a big payday sometime soon if he continues to progress, which I think he will. If you watch Nick in the Cuts documentary, Jared's continuing to work. But I just want to get your thoughts on his parents going into debt to follow their son around and watch him chase his dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You see it all the time. Who's another guy? John Moran's dad. You know, I'm sure he's probably done that and invested a lot. But when you see your kid has something special, a special talent, special ability, you want to support them. We see kids talk about it all the time. My parents had to sacrifice so much for me just to get to this point. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of long nights, a lot of traveling when you don't have it, swiping that credit card, going in debt. And I think Bacon, to a degree, we can attest to it too. You know, we're going through it. Like, we know have a lot of money coming in right now. Like, we're struggling too. You know, it's okay to say that. But, you know, you're looking at the big payoff. You're looking at, you know, the future. And sometimes in that moment, it's hard to see what's coming down the pike and to see that future. And you have to stay in that moment and stay connected. So I commend them for it, you know, and I think they've seen the bigger goal at hand. And, you know, NBA plays really good contracts, and he had a really good rookie year, was up for Rookie of the Year at one point. You know, now it's just building off that where he can get that deal, and then he could pay his parents back and, you know, for their support. So it's tough, man, but it's like anything. You're chasing a dream. It ain't going to be easy, bro. You know, I have times I'm second guessing too. You know what I'm saying? Did I make the right choice? You know, it's not easy, bro, you know, but end of the day, if you trust the process, you put in the work, eventually you're going to yield some type of result. Somebody's going to see the talent. Same with Jared McCain. His parents could see the talent, and I think they'll be rewarded for it.
The cat is out of the bag, ladies and gentlemen. We are. I just messing with that. We're gonna be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Our day is coming, brother. You know what I mean? We appreciate all the viewers tuning in, but not to get too emotional. We're gonna tap into some NBA action. But that's real though, brother. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bet on yourself. If you don't get anything from what we got going on, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna come. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. If you don't take a chance on yourself or bet on yourself, you may be that 90-year-old person that's laying on your bed or laying in retirement after slaving 30 years for chump change. If you didn't invest, if you didn't tap into, if you didn't listen to the investing information they were giving you, you could be 90 years old, man. What if when I was 25? What if I locked in and chased my dream? You'll never know because you didn't take the opportunity. You didn't chase it. You know what I mean? So.
And real quick, as we transition, Bacon, just good examples is Josh Pate. Like, I was watching his show recently, and I'll be quick on this. You know, he was talking about, like, you know, because remember he got that contract from, I think it was a local news station. Yep. And, you know, he was like, you know, he denied it. And at the time, like, YouTube was known, but it's not to the level it's known now. Right. And he took a chance and betted on himself. And I'm sure he had dog days too. But he talked about, even though he's partnered with On3, he's partnered with parts of ESPN. And I don't think he's with CBS anymore in terms of them catering out the show, but he owns all the rights to it. And that's the difference, Bacon. There's nothing like owning or having that ownership of what you created. Nobody can ever take that away from you. And I think when he said that kind of clicked to me. Like, everyone says, oh, you can't do it. But if someone keeps saying you can't do it, it makes it even more special when you do. So, to mirror your sentiment, nothing's easy. You got to, like you said, keep believing, but you can use different examples to kind of help you in your situation. So I always try to do that and just stay locked in on, what I'm seeing and in the future. And there's examples you can go by.
That was a great example. Josh is I mean, you got to interview him at the red carpet event last year, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, and what I love too, real quick, is just he's not a guy that's an a-hole. Like, he's not, you get guys that are people that have made it and they just like either cocky or they just look like so into themselves. Like, Josh never gave me that kind of impression. Like, he was better than you. Like, he kept it real, his story. And like I said, he inspires people, man. You know what I'm saying? He inspires people, and what he did was phenomenal, man. So yeah, I never, like I said, I never got that impression, and the fact that he was able to build it to where it is, and now he has other people reaching out to him that wants to put his show on this network and that network. That's the beauty of it all, and he keeps all 100% ownership.
100%, brother. And I think we and definitely you are gonna do that someday soon, man. You know what I'm saying? You inspire me. I know you inspire a lot of others, man. Give you flowers as I do all the time, but what I'm saying, to do what you did, brother. You know what I'm saying? To be on 11 Alive News, man, still on 11 Alive News, and to take it the independent route. You know what I'm saying? With serving as many kids, you know what I'm saying? I never seen as many parents come out and say, man, thank you, Mr. Wilkins, for notching my son. Get that exposure, and to, I'm saying, be a kindling to a big flame to get kids offers, man. That's hats off to you, brother. You know what I mean? Not many people would do that. They take out the time to stay up to late hours and sacrifice, you know what I mean? Because I'm saying, we talk, so that's extraordinary in itself, brother.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely, brother.
You know what?
For sure, man. So back to the matter at hand, man. Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers are involved in another scam, but I think they're paying the young man under the table, Sean Storina, ESPN. I can't remember the young lady's name to the left, but she is a West Georgia grad. So
L. Duncan.
Yeah, L. Duncan, man. She's a wolf, you know what I'm saying? I think she's a lone wolf, and I'm a lone wolf too, but I travel in packs. But for sure.
For much more, we bring in our senior NBA insider, Shams Sharani. Shams, what more can you tell us about this accusation claim?
Well, an NBA spokesman told me today that they have commenced an investigation into these claims about the Los Angeles Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. And at the heart of it is essentially investigating whether there is hard proof that there were improper backdoor payments made on behalf of the Clippers or Steve Ballmer to Kawhi Leonard. Is there hard evidence that proves that? Circumstantially, there's certain dots you can connect here, but Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard privately have contended that these are isolated situations. Steve Ballmer invested in a company that clearly tanked, went bankrupt, and that same company also provided an endorsement deal to Kawhi Leonard. And so there is some level of precedent to potential cap circumvention. Back about 25 years ago, the NBA ended up taking 5 first-round picks, suspending owner Glenn Taylor for an improper potential contract with Joe Smith at the time. So there is, different precedent for this. But in order for the league to move forward with anything like that, there has to be hard proof, hard evidence that would link that there were improper payments or improper funds given on behalf of the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, not just circumstantially. So we'll see as this investigation plays out what the NBA discovers. What do they have proof of?
Yeah, certainly it's a developing story that will be all over for you here on ESPN. Shams just out here enjoying.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, so it's allegations at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Ballmer he's a very savvy businessman, so we can't really. It's all hypotheticals at this point. But we know he's heavily invested into the Clippers. If he done it, wouldn't be surprised. He's a very passionate owner. But they, at the same time, they just built a new stadium. A new arena. So that money had to come from somewhere. To see him paying money out under the table, it's like, you just built this new arena. So we'll see how the investigation unfolds. We'll have it here for you first, or not first, but we'll have it here for you on the Just As a Deuce podcast. But what do you think about this, Naj?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, if you're gonna find a way to circumvent the system, you got to find a way to do it. So, I mean, sometimes you got to be, I guess, strategical in what you're doing. So, like I said, yeah, it does have a lot of money. Probably has a lot of shell companies. I mean, he wants to keep his best player. I mean, think about it. He's done a lot that keeps Kawhi there. He obviously believes in him, believes he can still bring him a championship, right? Other guys have left, Paul George, guys that came in with Kawhi, he's still there. So I think, just trying to keep his star happy. He might have didn't have the money on the cap to do it. It was like, well, look, I got a lot of money on this side. I'm going to pay you an endorsement money. Let's work it out. We want to keep you. So sometimes you see owners get creative. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? So he's a very wealthy individual. Does make sense. I know Stephen A took a different angle. Like, this man, if he don't have to ever work, and get free money, he'll do it. I'm not going to take that angle. I just think the owner was trying to make sure his best player was straight, bro.
Steve. I guess you didn't watch the Club Chase interview, bro.
Huh?
I said, I guess Steve didn't watch the Club Chase interview. He did a sit down with Tyronn Lue. He talked about Kawhi's situation with his knees, and it's really his body betraying him. Did you see it?
I don't think so. Not the clip.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, they talked about it for a good probably 15 minutes. So yeah, Kawhi is definitely not sitting out for no free money. He really wants to be out there per Tyronn Lue as head coach. So I mean, but I agree, Steve. You know what I'm saying, definitely believes in Kawhi. You know what I'm saying, for somebody that's that much time and still, Kawhi got you. We believe in you. You know what I'm saying. Him to play, keep his body ready, playing to the end of the finals. That tells you a lot. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep our finger on this headline, and so definitely stay tuned to Bacon and Naj Wilk on Twitter and Instagram. We'll probably, we'll keep, because this is a big storyline. We do enjoy basketball, and we do like Kawhi Leonard and everything going on. So stay tuned to those outlets for updates. But last segment, unfortunately, on the Just As a News podcast, we'll bring up SA. He's talking about who his surprising pick for next year's NBA championship will be. I have not seen it. I want to cue the raw reaction for the viewers. Since it's a surprise, I'm assuming it's not the Knicks. But
it ain't the Knicks.
It ain't the Knicks.
He always jokes about. The player always jokes about. I watched it.
Washington?
No, I watched it.
Oh, I'm gonna say, boy.
You put no Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luka's on because of this guy. The reason the Dallas Mavericks were comfortable enough to make the move to move Luka out of town is because this brother, when healthy, is 28-12 walking. Now the problem is that last part, when healthy, not. He shows up for his first game in Dallas, plays lights out in the first half, talking smack. I'm here now. And then the next thing you know, he got hurt. And he's out. That's the problem. Number 5 was Kyrie. Number 1 is his teammate. Together, both healthy with their A game. I would pick the Dallas Mavericks to win the NBA championship. I'm going to say it again. If Kyrie Irving is healthy, and Anthony Davis brings his A game, the Dallas Mavericks will win the NBA championship. That's a big if.
All right. Picking Dallas to win the chip. I agree. Kyrie's got to be healthy. If Kyrie's not healthy, I don't really
They both got to be healthy. It ain't just one.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That's the problem. I ain't gonna just win with Kyrie. Like, he got to be healthy too. It's just too big of a if for me. I mean, they got the talent to do it. Kyrie's been injured the last few years, dealt with stuff. You obviously have AD. He's been nicked and banged up. We know his injury history. Just a lot to buy in. They got the talent for sure. PJ Washington recently just signed an extension.
Yeah.
It's just I got to see it. And the West is just too much going on in the West, bro. Too many teams. Like, Golden State will still be a threat. You got OKC, who now, they're still young, but they have the championship pedigree and experience now to their belt. They're going to know what to do. Can never count out the Nuggets. they got better. No one's talking about that, but they got better this offseason with the moves they made and the acquisitions they got. Trading Michael Porter Jr., who I think hit a ceiling with them. Bringing in a young, emerging, hungry player, right? In Cam, like, I don't know. That's just you got Minnesota. They'll still be pretty good. Yes, lost and killed Alexander Walker, but re-sign their key pieces. Yeah, it's just gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, not really having a point guard. I don't think D'Lo's gonna cut at the running the show when they got Dante Exum, but it's not Kyrie Irving. Don't really have a full facilitator. You know what I mean? I like Brandon Williams. I like who is it? Musa Cease. Who's one more player? Not Caleb Martin. That's a good pickup. Dwight Powell. Who's one more? Oh, Miles Kelly. Miles Kelly, you know what I'm saying? From Auburn by way of Georgia Tech. Another shooter on that team. But I don't see it. I don't see it out the West. But, you know what I mean? If you're going to throw up a what if, you know what I mean? I understand it. They got one of the best start lineups. They got a lot of depth, but I don't see it. But that's SA's pick. That's hypothetical. So, you know what I mean? I got to roll with it. But any last thoughts, brother? Any things you wanna, any points that you want to bring up before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, no real points. Just anybody that's watching, players, man, everything. Nothing in life is easy, man. I'm going through the struggles too, personally. Just keep on going, man. Keep trekking, keep putting in that work. Find things to help you de-stress, man, and take it bit by bit, man, day by day. Don't think too far ahead in the future. Don't think too hard in the past. You can't control the past anymore. It's in the past for a reason. Just try to control the present, man.
Even kill, man, like a dead body, flatline, even kill. And before we get out of here, I definitely want to shout out Trey Pearson on a 4-star rating after a big Peach Jam, really two back-to-back Peach Jams. Brad Billy League won the year before, 16U. They won this year for 17U. It's picked up a lot of recruiting buzz here lately. I think he just got a Middle Tennessee offer. Like he just went on the OV as well. With the Raiders, Appalachian State, you know what I'm saying, offered them, but definitely had a shout out Trey Pearson, man. Definitely that's another story. Crazy how it correlates to just stand down, believe in yourself. I'm sure his parents did the same thing. Not sure if they traveled, but from Tennessee, playing with Brad Billy League, playing all around the country, and it's finally paying off for him. So shout out to Trey Pearson. Stay down, ladies and gentlemen. Believe in yourself, build on yourself. Because if you don't now, it's going to be tougher every year after the other year. So this is the Just As the News podcast. You know what I'm saying? 66 congruent viewers on everything. Don't see any big comments on IG Live. You try to get more active in the comments on the basketball podcast. Y'all go crazy on the football. You know what I'm saying? This is a more, died down, you know what I'm saying, chill vibe, but you're getting a lot of life gems. So, but as we grow, we'll definitely bring in some more guests. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We're going to be here Monday, 6:30, 6:45. Get here early because the spots fill up fast, especially if you're trying to get in the comment section. So tap in. We're all going to be here at 8 o'clock on Thursday. So thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, it's Just As the News. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen.